Reporting from Arkham Asylum, this is Gotham Rogues. In this video we take a look at one-shot Batman villain, Dr. No-Face. Welcome to the first entry of this new Patreon exclusive series, where I take a look at Bat-Rogues who only appeared one single time, not counting potential tiny cameos. Thank you so much for pledging, by the way, I really appreciate it. So, throughout his near 8-year-old existence, Batman has faced countless enemies. Some of these are gonna stand among the most infamous fictional villains in pop culture history, while others appeared merely once, never to show up ever again. In this segment of one-shot Bat-Rogues, we spotlight the fantastic Dr. No-Face. Dr. No-Face appeared in the story called The Fantastic Dr. No-Face, published in Detective Comics 319 in 1963. It was written by Dave Wood and penciled by Sheldon Moldoff. In the comic, we're introduced to Dr. Paul Dent, a brilliant scientist who's conducting a demonstration of a skin rejuvenation ray, which is supposedly capable of healing facial scars in a matter of seconds. However, something goes wrong during the demonstration, and the machine backfires at Dent in full blast, erasing his facial features, leaving merely a blank. The scientist goes insane due to the shock and becomes the fantastic Dr. No-Face, a mad criminal who destroys faces, such as museum portraits and sculptures, out of pure hatred. It's naturally up to Batman and Robin to stop this new menace to Gotham City. However, there's a big twist at the end of the story, which I must reveal, or else I can't properly speak about this character. Turns out that No-Face wasn't the scientist Paul Dent at all. No, it was a cheap hood named Bart Megan. You see, Megan stormed into Dent's laboratory one night, having heard of his rejuvenation ray. The racketeer had a large and easily identifiable scar on the middle of his forehead, which he wished to erase with the doctor's ray. Dent informed the crook, though, that his machine wasn't ready for testing yet. Warnings which Megan ignored, and then used the ray on himself. This erased his face, turning him into No-Face. Realizing this opportunity, Bart took the scientist's place at the demonstration wearing a mask, and then faked the whole incident, which supposedly turned Dent into No-Face. Megan then committed the crimes, destroying faces, as a ruse to blame them on the doctor, while also hiding the true purposes of them, namely to secretly steal a valuable item during each so-called rampage. Yeah, I know, extremely convoluted, and this twist also completely ruins the character in my opinion. So he was just a common thief all along. Sure, the whole deal of a scientist suddenly going insane and wanting to destroy all faces is pretty damn ridiculous, but it was more interesting and had some potential. Dr. No-Face, if he actually was Paul Dent gone mad and not just a cheap thug, could have been a unique member in the Rogues Gallery. You guys know me, I like these types of outlandish and bizarre characters. His visual design, a man without a face, predating the question by the way, is also really cool. He's not the first faceless character in a Batman comic though, as there was a similar looking guy already in a 1939 story. He wasn't a villain though. Nothing ever became of Dr. No-Face, however, and we haven't really seen him since this single story, although he did naturally have a cameo on the Batman the Brave and the Bold cartoon. So what you're of course wondering is, what's Harvey Dent's relation to this guy? None whatsoever. They never even reference Two-Face in the story, but clearly it can't be a coincidence. I mean, another villain with a face theme who's named Dent. Surely it must be intentional. I'm guessing they created this guy as a tribute to Two-Face, or as an inside joke maybe, as at the time Harvey hadn't appeared in a decade, so the readers had probably never heard of him. I wouldn't mind seeing an Elseworlds story where Harvey and Paul are twin brothers, and while one becomes Two-Face, the other becomes No-Face. So there you have it. That's the story of one-shot Batman villain, Dr. No-Face. Join me here on Patreon again next month for another one-shot Bat-Rogue, and thank you again for pledging. Anyway, as always, remember, Arkham Asylum awaits you in the next video.